Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome to the Thursday Learning Bhagavatam class. Our special guest is none other than Haridas Prabhu. So welcome, Haridas Prabhu. Hope you're well. Today we'll be reciting from, or the class will be given from Canto 8, Chapter 5, The Demigods Appeal to the Lord for Protection. Hare Krishna Prabhu, over to you.
Thank you so much. So it's lovely to be back, and thank you for engaging in this service. And this chapter, I had to really understand, deeply. Okay, so we'll do Jai Radha Madhav. Jai Radha Madhava, Jai Kunja Bihari, Jayo Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Jayo Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe Jayo Prabhupada 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 Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Guru Maharaj Jaya Guru Maharaj Guru Maharaj Jaya Guru Maharaj Nitai Gora Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gora Hari Bol Radha Madhav ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuttapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvetam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Narayanam Namaskritya Narang Chaiva Narottamam Deving Saraswating Vyasam Tato Jayamudiriye Nashta Praishva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavat Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shaloke Bhaktir Bhavtir Neshtaki Nigam Kalpatarur Galitam Valam Shukmukhadamrita Dravasamyitam Pibata Bhagavatam Rasmalyam Muhuraho Rasika Bhuvi Bhavukaha. O expert and thoughtful men, relish Srimad Bhagavatam, the mature fruit of the desired tree of Vedic literatures. It emanates from the lips of Sri Shukdev Goswami. Therefore, this fruit has become even more tasteful, although its nectarian juice was already relishable for all, including liberated souls. So, Jeho, today's topic is very, very interesting. I spent a couple of days just trying to understand manvantras and the various incarnations in the various manvantras. So that was just for me, because in here, there's lineage of Manus and Lord's incarnation. And sometimes the sequence is not really so clear. But we as devotees, we know Dashavtar, which is sung by Jayadev. And the sequence is like Machkach, Varaha, Nrsingadev, Vamandev, so forth. But the personalities, the devotees involved in that, the sequence is different. So I had to understand it for myself. And I hope I can sort of today share this with you, all the hard work I did. It's called Sagar Manthan. I had to manthan my mind, read it, check it out here and there. So let's share that. So basically, today we're going to explore Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 5, a chapter filled with deep cosmology, profound prayers, and practical lessons for spiritual life. It covers the sequence of Manus, various forms of the Lord, Durvasa Muni's curse, because that is the real turning point there. The demigods then take shelter of Brahmaji, and then Brahmaji takes them to Shvetadweep and says beautiful prayers to Lord Vishnu on the behalf of all the demigods. And I made some notes and I'll go according to that. So the first part is, before we start, there is a verse within this canto which made me realize actually Durvasa Muni cursed Indra because he was Abhimani. And I think I'll talk about this when we come to that. And similarly, we in our progress become Abhimani, egoistic. And then the Lord really humbles us. And similarly, when giving this class, obviously, devotees have spent many years trying to understand the topic. Sometimes maybe Abhiman comes up. So this chapter actually made me lose my Abhiman because I couldn't understand some of the order. And I realized actually every chapter of the Bhagavatam is not for Parikshit Maharaj, it's for us. We keep thinking something happened historically and, it's not active, it's very active. So I actually felt humble. And that's why I spent a lot of time. And in the end, I just left it to the Lord. So let's see what my mind will come up with, because I'll be churning it, my good thoughts, my bad thoughts. Let's see what comes out. So this is from Canto 8, Chapter 5, Verse 6, which is very, very significant. Although the great activities and transcendental qualities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead's various incarnations are wonderfully described, sometimes we are unable to understand them. Yet everything is possible for Lord Vishnu. If one could count the atoms of the universe, then you could count the qualities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But no one can count the atoms of the universe, nor can anyone count the transcendental qualities of the Lord. It is said Anant Shesh, with his thousands of mouths, is trying to glorify the Lord, and he can't even come to the end of his qualities. So I like that because that's within the canto in that chapter. And that chapter made me go really deep into the manvantras. Before I should just pass them on, and I will tell Vidhu Prabhu, you're a technical guy, you talk about manvantras. I'm more interested in, Krishna's loving exchanges. And so this is all technical, but I must say, I got to understand a little bit. So the verse 4 to 5 of this beautiful, but the first one is all about, Gajendra Moksha. And Gajendra Moksha, you must have read it and understood it. Our position is a bit like Gajendra Ji. We are not in our elements, as Gajendra went into the ocean or the sea or the water, and the crocodile grabbed him. So that is Maya grabbing our leg. And then we try to, get to the shore, and Maya pulls us back, and for thousands of years. And in the end, when Gajendra reached out for the Lordship, and the Lord rescued him, it's very similar to our position and situation. We think we are clever, we can outsmart Maya, but here it'll be demonstrated, never mind Gajendra, even Indra suffered, and other demigods. So let's move on. In the fifth Manvantra, ruled by Revat Manu, the Lord appears as Vaikunt, born from Shubharga and Vikuntha. So Vikuntha is the mother, Shubharga is the father. The Lord Vaikunt creates a special Vaikunt planet above Loka mountain, beyond the material realm. I remember once I was part of a group and all that. We were talking about Jay and Vijay. There's always a talk, not even a leaf falls from Vaikunt. So I just said, well, Jay and Vijay, they fell. And now I understand reading it, Prabhupada they don't fall. They come to do a service because the Lord desired they go down. But people like us, still a question mark, did we fall or were we here Nitya Baddha in conditioned soul? We are Nitya Baddha, eternally conditioned by Maya. Or did we come from the spiritual world? But he says, once you go there, you never come back. So this has been argued with different people over and over again. So I won't start here, but it's a thought, like what happened to us. But Prabhupada said, never mind how you came here. Now you're here. Try to plan to get out, and Prabhupada will help us. So verse 6 is about achintya activities. So the chapter reminds us that the Lord's actions are achintya, beyond mental logic. And our Gaudiya Sampradaya, the Siddhanta is achintya bheda abheda tattva. So bheda abheda is simultaneously one and different from the Lord. But the first word is achintya. Don't even discuss it, just accept it. Because many people try to understand it like that. You won't be able to understand it. And so what is achintya bhed? The battles of Varaha with Hiranyaksha and Nrsingadev with Hiranyakashipu, is what I was battling with. Do they occur once or do they repeat themselves? So that is the question. And after reading a lot, Bali Maharaj is the churning of the ocean happened in Manvantara 6. And we know that Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyakshas happen in Manvantara 7. So that was the one which I spent a lot of time on. Bali Maharaj, great grandson of Hiranyakashipu. Is it? Yeah. Prahlad Maharaj is the grandfather. And Varochana is his father. Now the sequence is he should come later. How come, in the 6th Manvantara, Bali was helping with the churning of the ocean, and then his grandfather and all that came in the seventh manvantara. So I wrestled with it, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time, but the thing is, there is overlap of manvantara. So if something overlaps, it's like the first floor and the second floor. Something happening on the first floor and the other second floor. So the second floor, the son is on the second floor and the father is on the first floor. So something's happening in the first floor and second floor. So you can reference to what's happening in the upper floor and the lower. That's called overlap. Finally, I understood that these leelas are not linear. They are occurring and events exchange, the Lord's exchange with the devotees. And so they are referred to, and maybe the manvantara seems to be back to front. And Chaitanya Charan had said that Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyakshas, they came in the sixth manvantara, and so did Bali Maharaj. So nobody argues and does that. But others argue it's in the seventh, the Nrsingadev came, like what we are now in our manvantara. So I will leave that here, and later on, question and answer, we can talk about that. But the main thing is, whatever Leela is going on, the Lord's protection is eternal. Whatever Leela you find, the demons, they'll fight Indra. Ete chang sakalapamsa, Krishnastu Bhagwan Swayam, Indrari Vyakulam Loke Mridante Yuge Yuge. So whenever Indra is in trouble, the Lord incarnates in big trouble. So then, verses 7 and 10, the scripture then lists the next Manus. Chakshusha Manu is the sixth Manu. During his time, the Lord's expansion, Ajita appears. Ajita takes the form of Kurma, the divine tortoise, and he supports the entire churning of the ocean of milk. I was in Kerala once, and my wife used to have massage for the back and everything. I had loads of time on my hand. So I love meditating, contemplating on the Leelas of the Lord. And then I was just thinking in the milk of ocean, the Hal, poison came, and then Lakshmi Mata came, and various horses and things, and then the nectar came out as well. And I was thinking, that ocean is very powerful. But I just saw the tortoise at the back because Mandarachal mountain is scratching him and he's feeling really great. Never thought anything about it. But then I realized, oh my God, it is the Lord, the Kurma avatar. He is supplying all these incredible things coming out. And he can actually make Lakshmi even appear out there. And that was such a deep realization for me in Kerala on my own. And I was thinking, oh my God, I never realized the Lord is the source of all sources. So it's Kurmaji, he's giving it out through the ocean. And so that really excited me. And the manthan is being done, by the demigods and the demons. And this is very similar to our mind. Many times we have negative thoughts and then positive ones, and we're always churning them, what to do, what should we do. And then once we get a solution, then we benefit thinking, wow, I managed to work that out. So don't think the churning of the ocean happened then and it's not happening now. It's continuously happening. And I was hearing one lecture where they said, I always wondered why people go and pour water on the shivling. Because everybody does it every day. I said, doesn't it feel cold or something? Especially in England, you do shivling puja, put water on a night like this. And then the person said that because Lord Shivji had the halal poison, it's in the throat, Nilkant, that's burning. So then devotees help him out by keeping him cool like that. And I really like that. And the other realization I had was the other day that we are Krishna conscious, and Lord Shivji is Vaishnavana Vyat Shambhu, and he's Gopinath as well. Not Gopinath, Gopeshwar. So we are connected with him. And the devotees, we do make offenses and aparadhs like that. And talking this manthan, but when we think about, okay, I think I was wrong here, what do I do, praschit or something? So to my mind, it came that Lord Shivji helps them and takes that reaction or prad away from you. And so we should always do pranam to Lord Shiva, saying, thank you for helping out, because he's Gopeshwar. You know, if anybody wants to enter into the Leela of gopis or something, he will help you, he'll give you that body. And so this churning of the ocean has had different meaning over a period. Otherwise, it's a tortoise, a mountain on top, and demons on one side, and Vasuki breathing out, and the demons got all dark and smoked out. And then Mohini came out, and because the demonic forces took the Amrit, and then Mohini immediately mesmerized everyone and took the pot away, and then Rahu and Ketu was formed because so the story. So all that, when you sit and contemplate, you realize it's not really something historical. It is, but it's still active, and you can be part of that and realize what you're going through yourself. So next we come to the Durvasa's curse, which is verse 15 and 16. Then he goes here, then comes a dramatic turn. Durvasa Muni curses Indra because Indra disrespected a sacred garland which was given by Durvasa Muni. From that disrespect, the demigods lose their prosperity. He actually cursed them, saying, okay, you become proud. Now, Durvasa Muni is very, very interesting character. And, his life is very, very long. He's not Chiranjeev. He doesn't live forever like some others do. But he lives across many manvantras. And he's an expansion of Lord Shiva. And actually he's used, he's got short temper. And anybody's not right, Durvasa Muni turns up and everybody shakes, thinking he's going to curse. And he did. And because of that curse, poverty came in the three worlds. But the demons, they benefit. They just came and took over Indra's place. And that's what made them panic, thinking. And Bali Maharaj went over there. Now, I was looking at the cosmology. There is the 14 planetary system, 7 heavenly and 7 lower planets. I always thought the lower 7 planets are hellish and all that kind of thing. No, they're not. They're very opulent, but there's no sun there. But even Lord Shivji is in Vittal, and there's Atal, Vittal, Sutal, and Bali Maharaj in Sutal, and he's doing his bhajan and everything. So I realized all the planets where you get punished is below the Patal. There's below there. That's where you get all punished, because down there is Anantashesh is there as well. So I was always wondering, why is he down in the hellish planet? They're not hellish, they're lower planets. And I think they're called Birla Svarga. So it's not Svarga at the top, it's the one Svarga at the bottom. And apparently Lord Shivji and Parvati are also in the Sutal. They're living there as well. And so that was the 2 days I spent. And it was blowing my mind, I've been thinking lower planets mean hell. No, it isn't. They're very opulent. They're content as well, because nobody comes and disturbs them unless they disturb each other. But Indra gets disturbed by the demonic forces. They go up there and disturb him. So Bali Maharaj took over Indralok. And that's where this story starts here. So in desperation, the demigods, they all got together. They said, well, let's go to Brahmaji then. And then Brahmaji saw their position, and he listened and contemplated. And then he thought about a solution for the poverty. That move made me think that we are in Brahma Sampradaya as well. And there's Sri Sampradaya, Rudra Sampradaya, and Kumar Sampradaya. And these are lineage, these are lines. So whenever devotees are in difficulty, or even if we are not in difficulty, we're in ignorance. Ignorance is also difficulty. We should seek the top in our sampradaya. And look at all the demigods. They went to Brahmaji, and he listens. And then he found a solution. And the solution for the demigods are always supposed to be in mode of goodness. Only when they become proud and all that, so they lose that mode of goodness. And then they get into trouble. Indra gets into trouble quite a bit. Brahma directs everyone to Lord Vishnu. Brahma gives a crucial instruction. He says, this is verse 21, All living beings, including demigods, come from Vishnu. Therefore, go directly to him for help. So in Kali Yuga now, we have so many paths, and even in Bharat, they say all paths lead to one. No, they don't. All roads don't go to London. There's Manchester as well and other places. So we shouldn't think like that. There's different destination for different paths like that. And here Brahmaji clearly saying that we should go directly, to Lord Vishnu. Verse 22, he explains that although Vishnu is neutral, he assumes many forms to manage the universe. So there's a Guna avatar, there's a Purusha avatar. Guna avatar in mode of goodness is maintaining the universe. Mode of passion is Lord Brahma. And mode of ignorance is Lord Shiva, recycling, whatever is there. Well, they say destruction, I prefer the recycling. And so then in verse 23, Brahma tells them to cultivate goodness. Our Guru Maharaj is to come, and when we will be like passionate about something or disturbed, and my Guru Maharaj would actually use his hand to say, Beta Satogun mein aao. And we were in Tamogun, we don't know how to come into Satogun. So whenever I read, anyways, come in Satogun. So I can see Brahmaji telling, please come in Satogun. Why? Because Vishnu responds most readily to those situated in mode of goodness. See, that's a very important point. At the moment, we're reading Bhagavad Gita and 17th chapter went by, and there's mode of goodness, mode of passion, mode of ignorance, the whole lot of eating, faith, and whatever. So you can see all those even in mode of goodness, they're not touching Lord Vishnu, demigods. We just read the other day, mode of goodness people, they worship demigods. Now, because why? Why not Vishnu? Then Prabhupada said, Shuddha Sattva. It should be pure goodness. So you can see only Vishnu will respond to them. So that's a good statement in verse 23. Then verse 24, Brahma leads the demigods to Shvetadvip, a divine island in the ocean of milk. This is where Kshorodakshai Vishnu resides. And he's the Paramatma, he's the super soul. And in that verse, Parikshit Maharaj is praised as Arindama, the subduer of enemies. Because Parikshit Maharaj had an incredible role when he was born, and Yudhishthira Maharaj asked the sages, what would be his life like? Oh, brilliant! He's going to be a brilliant emperor and everything. So anything adverse or something? Then they said, well, yes, he would have 7 days to live. He'll be bitten by Takshat. And they said, why? Actually, he says he's going to do incredible service. He will confront Kali. And I never realized that because somebody put it like that. He will confront Kali. Otherwise, Kali would have been all over this planet. But he allowed him only 5 places to be. Where there's meat eating, slaughter, where there's alcohol intoxication, illicit sex, gambling, and where there's unfair means of earning. Not just gold like that. Wherever there's cheating and you brought the money in like that, you're not working for it, so that is no good karma, Kali will be there as well. And that's why whenever many rich people, then they go bankrupt and everything, and you find out later on that they weren't earning in honest ways. So Parikshit Maharaj, he's listening to all this. He restricted Kali into those places. And that's why we follow the 4 principles. So Kali doesn't bother us. And then he won't be able to influence us. So that is a good point there. So Brahma's pure prayers to Vishnu. These prayers are very significant. They're very nice. And the nature of pure prayer. Brahma now offers prayers. The purport teaches us an important principle. The Prabhupada said this one. Prayers must come from scriptures or acharyas. We should chant the Mahamantra, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, and then bhajans of great acharyas. We should not pollute our devotion with film songs or mundane music. So this is very, very important that Brahma is about to say prayers and he's head of our sampradaya. And we should concur what he said. We should actually, as if Indra didn't know whatever Brahma is going to say. Of course, they knew it. But when you glorify someone, if somebody's a musician saying, hey, I love your music, it's good, or somebody's class and everything, they know that, but we're endorsing saying, I was able to appreciate what you're giving. So, there's a relationship there. But when we don't praise or anything, and people, say something from their heart and never appreciate anything, why bother? Same with Lord Vishnu saying, okay, they stay in ignorance. But it looks like Brahma just showed us you must glorify the Lord with some things you know already, but just repeat him, give him credit for it. He's not looking for credit. He understands that. Now you understand where the source of all source is. So the first part of the prayer is verse 26. You are the origin of everything. Brilliant. Everything. Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachitanand Vigraha Anadir Adir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. Wonderful prayer from Brahma Samhita. And the Lord is Gunatit. Many people prefer to, or in the scripture even says Nirgun, but Nirgun usually impersonalists, they like that Nirgun and then they, take him out. But Gunatit means he's above these three gunas, Triguna. He's controlling them. He's not influenced by it. He's controlling the three gunas. He can. And yet he's not affected by it. And yet he's present in everyone's heart. Even Tamoguni, even the animals and all that, the Lord is in his heart. How brilliant that is. He's a Shakshi, he's just watching. And then verse 27, he's Sarvagya. Sarvagya means omniscient. He knows everything. You don't have to tell him anything. And in fact, he's Trikal-darshi. He knows past, present, and future. So he knows this is going to happen. Even Narad Muni can tell what's going to happen. So the Lord is as well. He has no material body. In the verse 27 it says, he is Bhagavan, full of six opulence. Most opulent, most beautiful, most renowned, most strong, all these six qualities. He appears in three yugas for protection. And in Kali Yuga, he is a, hidden avatar, which is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for us. So, in the verse 28, there's a demonstration of a wheel. So there's an analogy of a wheel. The body, our bodies are like a wheel, and the super soul is the hub holding it all together. And Prabhupada said this, one life to another, we get different bodies and all that with sanskars. We're just spinning around, but the super soul is with you all the time. So we must not forget the central reality, and that is the super soul, the absolute truth. So devotees are always, saying Om Namo Bhagavate Janama Dasyayata Unvayaditrita Charteshva Vigya Svarartene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kaveda, which is the first verse of the Bhagavatam. Always remembering Satyam Param Dhimahi. So we mustn't forget that he is the central point. Verse 29, the Lord is situated in Shuddh Sattva, represented by Omkar. And that's why many people, when they do yoga, when they say Om, they feel good because that's Shuddh Sattva. They don't know that. They think, I could say anything. No, you try to say everything. Anything else, you won't get the same effect. I had school children who were English, 6-year-old, came to the temple, about 40 of them. I told them, okay, say hallelujah. So they said hallelujah. And then I said, okay, say Om. And cheekily, they all crossed their legs and did the mudra like that, went Om. So they must have seen it on social media. I was so impressed. I told them, say it 3 times, they did. And then they went quiet because I didn't say anything. I guess, how do you feel? He goes, oh, it's peaceful. And then I said, okay, now raise your hand, say Haribol. So they all went. I said, you got to be louder than me. Oh my God, they blew my socks, They said, Haribol, so loud. So which one did you like? They all said, we like Haribol, And so these words, the transcendental vibes, is Shuddh Sattva, which is transcendental. So verse 30, he's Mayapati. Devi hi esha gunamai mam maya duratya. My maya is duratya. And he controls the illusion. We suffer, Prabhupada put down, we suffer because we forget our life's aim. Every day we forget our life's aim. What is our life's aim? Normally, what am I going to eat for breakfast? What I'm going to have for lunch? What entertainment I'm going to do? It's weekend. How I can enjoy myself. We even devotees, we plan it like that. We suffer because we forget our life's aim. Prabhupada is saying this, you suffer. Not, okay, it's neutral gear. No, suffer. So we should always remember what the aim of life is. Verse 31, even demigods in goodness cannot fully understand him. Brahmaji said, demigods can't understand the Lord. What then of humans stuck in passion and ignorance? That's an incredible point. Demigods are not able to see Lord so easily. Brahmaji and Shivji are different. They can. Others can't. So we might think, oh, Indra, he must be seeing the Lord regularly. No, same as us. Can't see it. So what then of humans stuck in passion and ignorance? Now, other prayers are the Lord as the source of all creation. Brahma now describes how every element of creation comes from the Lord's body. Which are the four types of living entities? The Lord creates Jaraju Ja from embryos, Andaja from eggs, Svedaja from perspiration, Udbija from seeds. Even Mahatattva rests on his feet. Mahatattva is huge. He rests on his feet. So this is where our material Mahatattva is, and we are. He is incredible. Mahavishnu, Garbhadaksha, Kshirodaksha Vishnu. So we should surrender to him. Verse 33, the universe arises from water. And life comes from water, which is compared to the Lord's semen. So I'm going to spend a little time here. Do you know the 14 planetary system is in the stem of the lotus flower, which comes from Garbha's thing. And it's amazing. The planetary system in the stem. So, you know, when they say when the mini pralaya happens, the water comes up and all that. And I was thinking, how can you drown the universe with water, the ocean we have and all that? It is a stem. And Garbhasagar comes through the stem and drowns them like that. So that was an incredible realization I had. And he says here that the life is given by Lord's. Prabhupada said perspiration and some say semen, but the verse says there's semen. Then they glorify the moon. The moon, which is source of nourishment, is actually Lord's mind, you know. And mind is very important to keep it cool and calm, and so the moon is connected with that. Then they go on to verse 35, glorify the fires which originate from him, fire of sacrifice. The yoga is when we do that, as you know, Yogya Purk and Mukh. And then submarine fire, they say it creates minerals and things under the ocean, the fire which comes from there. So minerals are there. And then the digestive fire. See, all those fires, they all originate from him. Then Brahmaji carries on saying, the sun, then he glorifies the sun. The moon has been glorified, the fire has been glorified. The sun is the eye of the Lord and the chief of demigods. And I think you all know that Suryadev is actually guru of Sri Hanumanji. And Hanumanji said, would you teach me, the truth? And he goes, I'm always moving. So don't worry about it. I'll be ahead of you listening. So Hanumanji is going backwards while Suryadev is orbiting. And he was learning from Suryadev. So Suryadev is guru. Plus, Om Ajnanatim Chakshu, when the light is there, you can see. Light cuts out, that's it. And another thing, when mini pralaya happens, you know what happens when Brahma, so no mini pralaya. Yeah, one day of Brahmaji, when he goes into night, Suryadev and the moon stay on, but their lights go off. So I read that. I thought that's amazing. The Suryadev is still there, but no more lights. So it'll stay dark for that period, and then it ignites again. So we don't understand Suryadev. We think we do, but that's written in there. Not in this canto, another one. So that is the sun. And then the life here. The life here comes from pranapan, Lord's own vital force. So even the life here we get is actually connected with the Lordship. Verse 38, the directions come from his ears. Usually, the ears tell you which direction the sound is coming from. It comes from the Lord's ears. Verse 39 to 41. So various demigods and social orders arise from different limbs. Lord Shiva comes from Brahma's anger, but it says from his anger. Brahma comes from Lord's intelligence. Prajapati from his genitals. Lakshmi from his chest. Pitralok from his shadows. Dharma from his bosom. Heavenly planets from his head. Brahmanas from his mouth. Kshatriyas from the arms. Vaishya from the tummy hair. Shudras and legs and other limbs. Verse 42. Greed comes from lower lip, affection from upper lip, luster comes from the nose, and time comes from eyelashes. Yamraj is the eyebrows. All arise from different parts of the form. So number 7, the material universe is hard to understand. Verse 43. Brahma says, our body, or either it was in the purport of Brahma, our body is a small universe. We cannot understand even that. How can we understand the entire cosmic manifestation? So once I realized, I was thinking, how do I understand Garbhodaksha Vishnu or Kshirodaksha Vishnu or Mahavishnu, that supreme truth is a person? And then I realized, the germs in my body, they're all souls, and they must be floating in me. And those who are in the arteries and veins and all that, they must be thinking Haridas is liquid, because they see some movement and everything, because they can't see my person. They'll saying he's liquid. Others in the bone, the germs, were thinking he's like rock. And those in the lungs were thinking this person is air. So I thought the germs cannot figure out they're inside a human being. And there's millions of them, trillions of them. And all the time there's fighting going on. There's the good cells and the bad cells, and bit like this universe, demigods and demons. It's going on in our universe here. We don't understand that. So how can we understand the big universe? So that's, Prabhupada said that. Prabhupada pointed out, instead of trying to figure out whether the material world benefits us or not, we should follow the supreme authority and aim to return back to Godhead. We said we should just reject this world. Final prayers and lessons, verse 44 to 50. Verse 44, the Lord is Atmaram, self-satisfied. His energies act perfectly under his control. He doesn't get involved so much, Many people say, oh, Bhagwan ne aisa kyun kiya? What did he do for me? Has he got time to just look after one individual? He's got so much to do. But the energies are managing him. He just set up a system. You do something wrong, you get picked up. But the Lord is Atmaram, is self-satisfied. Verse 45, so Brahma says, finally, please show us your smiling face and bless us. And Prabhupada said the impersonal should read this. Brahmaji said, show us your smiling face. Only a person, God, would be smiling. How can impersonals smile? So that's a good point. 46, the Lord appears in every yoga and performs astonishing leelas. And that's why the Dashaptar songs should be sung every day. Our Guru Maharaj would every time, do Prem Dhvani, always say, Mach, Kach, Varaha, Nrsimha. They've got us to memorize. And then I read it in Bhagavatam that those who meditate on the Dashaptar every day, their devotion increases. So I do that regularly. So verse 47, karmis struggle hard and gain little. Devotees working for Krishna gain enormous benefit with simple devotional service. So karmis work so hard day and night, and hardly they enjoy themselves. They haven't got time to enjoy and everything like that. It says there, and then the devotees, they just turn to the Lord and serve for the Lordship, and they benefit with simple, and they don't have many demands either, so they're satisfied. Simple living, high thinking. Verse 48, bhakti is never lost. Even a little devotional service brings spiritual progress. Even in Bhagavad Gita it says that, whatever you lack, I give to you. So it just needs surrender and removing your pride. Verse 49, watering the roots nourishes the whole tree. Similarly, worshipping Vishnu satisfies all devtas and all parts of the creation. And then finally, verse 50, the Lord is omnipresent, beyond the modes of, so he's Gunatit and he's Mayapati, controller of illusion. He alone can uplift the demigods. So you can see this is all the verses of this chapter. But what happens in the next chapter is that the Lordship then manifests, but it's such a brilliant light, all of the demigods can't take his darshan, only Shivji and Brahmaji. Then Brahmaji continues to then directly pray to Lord Vishnu, Kshirodaksha Vishnu. So that is what happens. So I'm going to say a few things. In conclusion, this chapter teaches us the Lord is the origin of all creation. Pride brings downfall even to the powerful. Shelter of Vishnu is the only solution. Authorized prayers and pure devotion elevate us, and ultimately bhakti, even in small quantity, never goes in vain. So one of the things, Jiva Goswami taught us that whenever we look at any Bhagavatam verse or anything, in there have a look at Sambandh, Abhidya and Prayojana. So Indra's forgot his Sambandh with the Lord because when Durvasha Muni, who's a rishi, so whenever we see a sadhu, we remember the Lord. He offered a garland and he just gave it to his elephant, Airvad. Airvad thought, what is this garland? And he put it between his legs and crushed it. And then Durvasha Muni cursed him. So you can see when you have a lot of wealth and power and everything, you forget your sambandh with the Lord. And immediately, if you're a demigod, you start to suffer. Then abhidya, the process. So what process did they use? They actually went to Lord Brahma. So Lord Brahma, they went to him. And you would have thought that, demigods are also very learned. They know everything. They've seen the many avatars and everything. But when they're in trouble, they have to go to Lord Brahmaji or Lord Shivji. And so they did go there. And what did Lord Brahmaji with another part of the process, Abhidya, he started to say Vandana, Kirti, glorifying the Lord. So this Kirtan we do, please don't think that you're not in trouble. We are in trouble, all of us. That's why we are here. So we should do the Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. But start with Go Nitai. You are linking with Lord Brahma. Then Lord Brahma will put in a good word for you. And then your bhakti will grow because you're not going to see the Lord, but you can see the Lordship in the deity form. And he's in the Naam as well. Hare Naam Eva Kevalam. So that is the Abhidya. Then what Prayojana is there? Then the Lord manifested, but Brahmaji and Shivji could see them. And then he guided them. He said, tell them to go back and cooperate with the demons, and I'll come as Kurma, and then we'll churn the ocean. And then we'll get nectar out of it, and the rest of the Leela. So then Prayojana is, they got instruction from the Lord how to solve their problem. So I really like it that there's Sambandh, Abhidya, and Prayojana there. Something about Bali Maharaj. Bali Maharaj so fortunate that we know Bali Maharaj met Vamandev, but looks like because they're part of the churning of the ocean, he also took darshan of Kurma avatar and took darshan of Mohini as well. And Vamandevji went pushed him to Sutalok. In Sutalok, Lord Vishnu is the guard there for him. And when Krishna killed Kans, and Devki Mata said, Beta, you brought your guru's son back. Can you bring those 6 brothers of yours who were killed by Kans? So then he went to Sutalok, and Bali Maharaj was so happy. Lord Krishna has come. Look at his personality. He's met so many avatars. We don't even know the names of the avatars. He actually met them. And so he's in Sutalok. So don't think lower planetary system, they're unfortunate. No, not at all. They also do their bhakti. In fact, Bali Maharaj said, the demigods become arrogant of their position. He said, at least the demons regret and are guilty that they're not very good. So we are humble like that. So please realize that. And whereas Indra, he also took darshan of, Upendra, which is Vamandev. He also took darshan of Kurmaji. He took darshan of Mohini as well. He took darshan of Krishna. But remember, he nearly drowned Govardhan and the cows and the Brajabasis. And then when Krishna went to, the spiritual world, Parajit, the bush, he was going to take it. Indra opposed him and fought Krishna. But Bali Maharaj never fought the lordship like that. He just surrendered to Vamandev. But if you compare them, Indra is actually quite arrogant compared to Bali Maharaj. So, that's what I realized, that we shouldn't downplay Bali Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj and all that. Actually, they're great devotees like that. Okay, so I think it's time now. Is that okay?
That's fantastic, Haridas Prabhu. As always, you do give us a fantastic class, and this time it was none different to that. So thank you so much. If anyone has any questions, please raise your hand.
If anybody got any questions or comments,
yeah.
I can't hear.
Can you hear me, Prabhu?
I'm having problem with the sound.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me though? Can you hear me? Can anyone else hear me, by the way?
Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I can't hear it. Okay.
Right.
I'll have to call my son.
Okay. Right. While we're waiting for Prabhu for a moment.
I'm sorry, but the person you called isn't.
If anyone does have any questions, please start raising your hands, and then I'll pick on people as they go along. Okay. Thank you, Devi Mataji. Just bear with me.
Guru Seva, look, I can't hear them. Is that gone?
Battery 80%.
Come that went off. Okay, can you say something now?
Right. Can you hear us now?
I can hear you now. I think it was a speaker. This
Fantastic.
technology.
No, not at all, Prabhu. Thank you. As I was saying, thank you so much for this class. It was amazing as always, and you're to form, so
You make me progress. Every time you give me these chapters, and then I'm thinking, oh, I didn't know all that, but I discovered so much. Thank you so much. Yeah.
It's not me giving you this. It's Krishna helping me pick a chapter for you.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So Devi Mataji, would you like to ask your question, please?
Hare Krishna, thank you very much for this class. I read something in the 27, in verse 27.
Yeah.
And in that says that the Lord doesn't have the material body.
Yeah.
But then Lord Chaitanya is a Krishna, as I have learned and I understood. Lord Chaitanya is Krishna, and he was even in the time of Kali Yuga.
Yeah.
So how to understand that? He had the material body, but it says that Lord didn't have material body. You know what I mean? How to understand that? Thank you.
Yeah, so we have to understand, even when Krishna was here, many people saw him as ordinary person. And so people don't realize, who are around them, that, that's the Supreme Lord. And I remember asking Shiva Maharaj once, I said, oh, I heard that in the battlefield, the arrows hit Krishna and there was blood. So I said, but Krishna has transcendental body like that. He goes, no, he's so perfect in his Leela that he does exactly what everybody else does. So it doesn't stop people behaving normal. But the ones who are very clever, they realize, hang on, that's the Supreme Lord. So similarly with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he showed his, form. He even showed a Virat form to, Nityananda Prabhu and Advaita Acharya. And he showed Radha Krishna form. And so once the Abhishek was going on and loads of avatars came from, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So in the Leela, it would look like he's ordinary, but he came in the mood of Radharani. And Radharani, we would have thought that the Supreme Lord, Krishna, and Radharani, the Supreme Shakti, they will not have any emotions. They will not cry and all that. But they did. They show tears. They have laughter because they're part of the Leela. So because they're part of the Leela, they'll do exactly like baby Krishna. Yashodama came with a stick and he became afraid. And Shivji and Narad Muni, they were thinking everybody fears him. And look, he's afraid of Mother Yashoda. Prabhupada said he acted perfectly, so nobody realized he's the Supreme Lord. So even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, although he came 500 years ago, he's the Supreme Lord. He showed it and many saw it. And when he left, there's no sign of his body at all. He went into Lord Jagannath into the sea and taught a Gopinath. So there's no record of any of the Panch Tattva, his body anywhere. Samadhis are there for the 6 Goswamis, but no Samadhi for Advaita Acharya. He disappeared, Nityananda as well, Gadadhar, and Shivas. So those 5 showed. Otherwise, there'll be a samadhi for them. I mean, if we met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we won't be able to ascertain whether he's God or not, because he'll be talking to us. Otherwise, you're talking to some divine and your exchanges just stop. He just becomes normal in his Leela. Is that okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. Jai.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu. I've got a couple of questions, if that's okay.
Yes.
You talked about bhakti a few times, and where we've got people starting off in this journey, they may be very new to the temple, and they go through the association, etc. But some people feel as if they are nowhere in their bhakti.
Yes.
So how do we ensure that those people still stick to that path, and what do they need to do to feel as if they're going forward rather than 2 steps back?
Well, the simple answer is you check their association, who they're associating with. You know, just doing your sadhana. I always say, because it took me a little while, we've been in the movement for quite a while, you know, and then, you know, we find there is a difference when somebody's been in the movement and they're always talking about negative, this and I'm thinking, how long have they been in? Oh, they've been as long as me or whatever, but they're not happy. You know, what's up? Because when you're progressing, there's a joy, there's a positivity. So I always checked it out, their association. Even if you're on your own, you can't do bhajan in the Kali Yuga, especially in England, you know. You shouldn't. You should actually mix with devotees who are better than you. But many people don't want to be with devotees who are better than you because the ego is saying, oh, I don't like him, I this, that, and the other. I always praise devotees who are better than me. I say, Prabhu, you're so brilliant, you know. Even if they're younger than me. They say, no, Prabhu, you are like that. And I seek the association. Every Sunday at Coventry Temple, I look forward to being there. And we've seen that as the association improves, everybody's flourishing, children and devotees. The other one is chanting. Their chanting has to be, you know, really good. And namaprad, you know, criticizing other devotees. You got to dial it down quite a bit. Sometimes when you're judging someone because you got to work with them, yeah, you can say, Prabhuji, I don't like his habit like this and the other. Everything is not a prad. That is just discussing something. But, you know, out of envy and jealousy, putting somebody down and not letting others grow, the best thing is delegate. You know, in our temple now, Vidu Prabhu, myself, Guru Seva, this Gita Jayanti is going to happen on the 1st of December. We started weeks and weeks ago to read each chapter and find new speakers rather than just us 3 senior guys. We told them others should do it. And we are discovering gems. And they are having to, you know, study, and they say, oh, they're shaking. I don't want to do it. No, you're doing it. You're doing it. And then they get on, and then they do it, and they discover, say, that was incredible, because they realize they can do it. No good. The seniors must give others a chance. Prabhupada did. 17-year-olds, 18-year-olds were sent to saying, open a center in Montreal. My God, Prabhupada trusted them. Prabhupada was incredible. He's trusting a 17-year-old who only knows one shloka, Sharira Vidya Jal Jadendya Daikal. He's sent to Montreal to start a center. And they did, because they realized they got the backing of. So I would say sometimes these devotees are not working with the authorities, or the authorities might not be making them grow. But association, chanting, and cut down on the criticizing others, you'll grow. And please read Bhagavatam. Because when Bhakti had the 2 children who were old, which is Gyan and Vairagya, Narad Muni came and he read the Gita. When he read the Gita, they became young again. As soon as he stopped the Gita, they became old again. Because Gita isn't working. So then he went to Sanat, Sanatan and all the 4 Kumaras. They said Bhakti should hear, or should read Bhagavatam. So when Bhagavatam was read, both Gyan, Vasudeva Bhagavati, Bhakti Yoga Prayojita, Jannati Ashu Vairagyam, Jnanam Chayida Hitukam. Gyan and Vairag, when you do Vasudeva Bhakti starts. So Bhakti you can have straight away, but you must also have Gyan and Vairag, and then you see the whole family is thriving, and you'll be smiling all the time. The main thing is devotees are always Brahmbhuta Prasannatma. He's happy. Na shochti, na kangshti. So they should check where they're going wrong. They can analyze, they know where they're going wrong. Look for association, improve your chanting, association, and prasad. Don't eat out so much. Offer to the Lordship. Have a small deities and, cook for them. That's what I do. And then I don't just Shravanam Kirtan, I do Vishnu Smaranam as well. Like I did on this one, and I discovered loads of things which I thought I knew, but it was a great discovery. So that's what it is. Tell the devotees you should do those things and your bhakti will grow.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Janakanya Mataji, would you like to ask your question?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you for
Hare
your amazing class. You always break it down so beautiful for us to understand. Thank you. I just wondered, what is the significance of Krishna Bhakti Rasa, the ecstatic taste of loving devotion to Krishna? And how does one, like us, layman, cultivate this rasa in daily life?
Okay, that's a good point. Very good point. Yeah, Prabhupada talks about people want mukti, mukti, mukti. You hear that word quite a bit, liberation, liberation. But their mukti is merging and everything. So mukti is realizing Jivara Swarup Hoy Krishna Nitya Das. When you realize, I am the servant of the Lord, Prabhupada said, you got mukti. See what I'm saying? Yeah. Others are thinking many lifetimes and then this world, then at the end I'll do this and this and the other. Prabhupada said, just understand, your Swarup is you are Das of Krishna. So that's your constitutional position. Once you know that, now that is neutral. Dham Das. Now, what service are you going to do? And I analyzed the other day because I have a rasa which is quite unique, and one doesn't share it on cameras and things like that. But I work on it, like what rasa, we want to taste and all that. It suddenly changed a couple of weeks ago. I realized, hang on a second, there is the servants who are dealing with Krishna, Dasa. There's the friends dealing with Krishna, Sakhas. There's the parents dealing with Krishna, Vatsalya. And then there's the Madhurya Ras of the queens and of the gopis. All these are different rasas. So I was thinking, the gopis got the highest rasa, which is true. But then I realized, if I was a servant and I'm dealing with Krishna, or if Krishna appeared to me now, you think I won't experience a rasa? I'll just faint. So really, it's like somebody having a feast, they're all eating it, but whoever cooked, somebody is their servant, the other one is their friend, the other one is their parents, the other one is their lover. But whatever you're eating is tasty. So all relationships are giving rasa. But you have the responsibility to nourish Krishna's rasa, which means as a das, as Hanumanji, he is the best servant. So he knew, I must be a good servant to Lord Ram, right? Rather than, I want to taste the dasaras from Lord Ram. No, I want to give rasa to Lord Ram. So whatever he needs, Hanumanji is ready, flies over there, finds Sita. So I realized, it's not what you're going to taste, it's what you're going to give to Krishna. Do you have the capacity to be das of the Lord? Do you have the capacity to be the friend of Krishna and be familiar with him? Rather than say, oh my God, I touched him, I shouldn't have his God and all that. Do you have the capacity to be the parent of Krishna and chastise him? And just tell him, what do you think? And don't think of him as the Lord. Do you have the capacity to be his wife, like Rukmini did and all, and serve him? Finally, do you have the capacity to be his lover? Means please him in that capacity. If you don't have it, don't dream. Just be at the moment a sadhak, just saying, I'll get that. So when you're at the temple, just saying, okay, I'm his servant. I want to be familiar with him. So you read those leelas, see which leela you think you have the capacity to have a relationship with him. So it's all about the relationship. And then there's the ruchi. You get a taste for it. And then rati comes, you become attached to it. At the moment, we attach to pizzas and comfort and sofas and everything and holidays. That's how ruchi is. But when you start to serve him, suddenly you realize, you know what, I'm getting taste out of dressing up the Lordship. And you look forward to saying, oh, when can I dress him up? I do gopi dots now on the Lordship. And this morning, I just, with my imagination, did something really nice. I go, I never even thought about this, but I did it. I said, I'm not doing it. My service is doing it. And the Lord, it goes, I'm Purusham Nirishu. I'm the ability in man. So ask the Lord, can you give me the ability so I can serve you as a servant, as a friend, or whichever is your rasa in there. Don't go for the rasa. You know what will happen? It'll turn into sense gratification. Because you're approaching the Lord not to serve him, but to get the rasa from him. I want mango juice. I want pineapple juice. So you go to the shopkeeper, he gives you that, and you drink it thinking, that was great, thank you, and you go away. So you're not going for rasa for the Lordship, saying, I want to serve you. I want to make mango juice for you, because I know it's great. So it's a mentality. You just change it, saying, I'm going to look for the service, develop the capacity, and I will slot myself as a das, as a sakha and all that. But I don't want to merge into him, because then I can't serve him. Because that's where Sahoja is the least admired. It's liberation, but it means it takes you out of this thing. So you're right. You should be tasting this rasa of service now. Well, I do, and that's why I talk excitingly and everything else. And then I'll check others who are doing the service, but they're not really doing it good, and tell them, Prabhuji, can you focus on this? You just did it because I asked you to do something, but you don't have an interest in serving. So then I realized they haven't got the ruchi and they haven't got the rati. They won't be attached to it. So it's part of the 9 progressions in there, and then once nishtha is there, you realize this is my service. And then you get the taste, and then you become, and then it goes to sneh, prema, so many other aspects. I hope that explains the bit.
That is wonderful, Prabhu. I've just started doing garland making.
All right.
And I have actually experienced some of that touch of the taste.
And then if you do the designs from your heart, and you think, oh, how about this? Rather than always follow someone. Because somebody did say, never be in prabhav all the time, like influence of others. You want to enjoy it. And don't be in abhav as well. Oh, I can't do. Then you're not going to taste anything. Be in a bhav.
Yeah.
So no prabhav, no abhav. It's be in a bhav. I mean, I want to do this. Let me try this design. You'll get it wrong in the beginning, and then you put it on, and you stand there, and others will tell you, hey, that looks nice. Think, oh, thank you. Krishna gave me the ability. Don't take credit for it, because we do take credit. And then Abhiman comes in, and the next garland is not so good.
You're so right, because if you look at today's garland on Hanuman, that was my creation.
Oh, really?
And I do believe, if you think of, it's not your doing, it's the Lord's helping you.
Otherwise, like Indra, you'll make a mistake. That garland would put you into trouble.
Yeah. Haribol.
Haribol.
Thank you very much, Haribol.
No, thank you.
That's what gave me the opportunity to ask that question, because I've had that feeling, the taste. Thank you.
And thank you for that question, because for a long time I was seeking the the rasa bit, thinking, am I getting or not? But then when it turned to seva and the capacity, Radharani has the capacity to excite Krishna, even with man. That Krishna saying, please, Radharani, I didn't meet Chandravali. She came in the way. She goes, I'm not talking to you. Inside, she's crying like, I'm hurting Krishna. But she has to do the seva. And then Krishna goes, groveling, then he goes away. And Manjaris comes and say, please, she don't want to see you. Can you go? And Krishna walks away like a rejected person, They are inside thinking, oh my God, I hope I haven't hurt him too much. But when you read this, because the 6 Goswamis write all these things, and these alankars, these experiences and all that, you have to know them. You know which one goes with which complements which one, which destroys the other one. If you don't have any idea, you won't enter the Ras dance. If you don't know how to dance, suddenly you go into a club and somebody puts you on the stage, X Factor or Britain Has Got Talent or whatever, you put it there, and people will say, well, get him off, That's what is going to happen. So who qualifies you? Lord Shiva, Gopeshwar. So you go to Gopeshwar and say, please, I have this desire, but I don't have the capacity or ability. Can you train me up? Go to Guru Maharaj, go to Shiksha Guru, go to other Vaishnavas, plead with them saying, I have a desire, but no capacity. I don't know how to play the guitar. Well, go to so-and-so, they'll teach you, and then practice makes you perfect. So it's the same here, but in the end, you have to really try hard. And can I share something, a recent sharing? When you are experiencing the transcendental love of the Lord, at whatever stage, please realize your own senses start to get excited. If you're not grounded in bhakti, you'll go towards sense gratification after that. Then you'll go for abhiman, because what's happened is you've just been wired up. Like when you go to Disneyland or something, they put you on this machine thing and they brace you up, and you don't know what's going to happen, or you might have some idea. But when they kick in and shoo, suddenly you shot up. People, they just scream. They don't want to. They tell us, I'm not going to scream. I'm not going to. But the heart sort of beats, thinking you are dangerous position and whatever. You're experiencing things in there. And when you come back, you're relieved that you had the ride. But after thinking, what happened to me? Where did I get all this thing? Well, meeting Krishna is that kind of ride. Suddenly, your senses are tasting something. And otherwise, then you away from Krishna thinking, I want to enjoy that feeling on the senses. I'll do sense gratification. And because we are in the material world, we'll end up doing sense gratification. And it's not a fall. It's not a fall. That's why Rupa Goswami says, Vacho Vegam, Manasa Krodh Vegam, Jiva Vegam, Udropasa Vegam. Etan Vegan yo Vishahedira, Sarvam Apima Prithvim Sa Shishyad. Vega means these things will happen to you. And if you haven't, it's like sitting in a Ferrari and you don't know how to control it. I mean, some guy, it was 18th birthday of his son. They bought him a Ferrari. 5 minutes, he went for a ride, he crashed it and died. And the father said, oh my God, I wish I hadn't bought him that. He couldn't control it. So please realize these urges and these experiences will come unless you can control and harness them. Like wild horses, they'll tear you apart. It's not an offense. You just went too early. You didn't know how to control it. Being in presence of Krishna, that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's horripilation, he will start to shake. If they say that, some people are saying that near Varsana and all that, nobody was allowed to say Krishna's name, because Radharani would faint. Vrishbhanu has said, nobody says Krishna's name here. And they should say Radhe Radhe, because Radhe Radhe is okay. And then Radharani, sometimes she would say Radhe Radhe. He said, why are you saying Radhe Radhe? He said, because it pleases Krishna. When you say Radhe Radhe, Krishna is pleased. So these are little leelas. So what happens is your senses, if you don't know how to, that's what yoga is, and that's what controlling is. When you experience that ride with Krishna, then you don't crash onto material sense gratification. And then in the beginning, you have that. And then you come up again, I say, okay, I need to control my eating urge, my singing, my feeling, my enjoying someone, and all that kind of thing. That's why it's Shuddha Bhakta, and that person has controlled his senses. And then he can be a guru. So I hope that gives you an idea that when you experience the rasa, you will actually wear off to enjoying materially as well. So don't look for the pleasure bit, look for the seva bit.
Thank you. And when you're telling it with such joy from your heart.
No, because I
actually
experience
connects,
these things.
It connects so well as well.
Yeah, because it's real. It's real. It's not theory. It's not up there. Because people think devotion is imagined and everything. Not imagined. Prabhupada wouldn't have come and gone to the West if he didn't believe in it. Look how he cried. He said, please don't take this cheaply. You're dealing with Krishna. He knew what Krishna was. Those tears do come, It's hard to control. And people should cry, people should feel love. And, rather than worry about negative elements in our life and people challenging and all that, just have the urge saying, okay, no, I'm not going to address it. And saying no to someone who's taking you away from Krishna is strength. You don't say no for everything, but just realize this person is actually interfering with my... So Prabhuji, no, thank you. Learn to say no when they are interfering, but learn to say yes whenever you have opportunity to serve Krishna. So you have to be very selective, and then you'll progress, yeah.
Haribol. Thank
Jai
you.
Ho. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Prabhuji, for taking your time to answer those questions. If we can all kindly unmute and say our 3 Haribols.
Haribol.
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 Haribol. Thank you very much.
Amazing class,
Thank you.
Prabhuji. Thank you.
Dhanavas, and thank you for engaging me.
Self-realized soul.
And Dharmendraji, you really are darling, because since you got me onto this, I've read Bhagavatam before, but because you have to speak on it, this chapter really got me thinking about manvantras. I still haven't cracked the overlap bit. And that's why my wife says, do they want to hear that? Because maybe not, because she goes, oh, this is too complicated. But I've sussed it now, and manvantras I understand better now, and overlap I understand. And even there's Prem Prakash Prabhu in our group, he was good. He mentioned from Chaitanya Charitamrita, there's an overlap of yuga. That's when Krishna and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu overlapped. Otherwise, it's Satya Yuga, then Dwapar, then Treta, then Kali Yuga. And Dwapar, Krishna comes, and in Treta, Lord Ram comes. But what happened is, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is going to come very reminding us of Krishna, the overlap happened. So then Dwapar came later, So Krishna can come and leave at the end of the Dwapar, and then just 500 years ago, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, same Krishna, with the mood of Radharani. So that was the overlap. And when he told me that, I couldn't understand overlap. Then I had to understand the Manvantra overlap about this. Because Krishna, you're amazing, you sit in my heart. And because I asked, what is this overlap? Now I've become familiar with overlap. And thanks to your class. Thank you so much. Haribol.
Thank you, Prabhu. Would you be able to say the final prayers, if that's okay? I'm just going to share them with you. If everyone can be on mute, please, and let Prabhuji recite these prayers. Okay.
Well, which one's the
one on the screen?
Vanchakalpa, yeah. Vanchakalpa Trubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Vacha Patitanam Pavnabhyo Vaishnavyo Namo Namaha. Vaishnav Prabhu's ki.
Jai.
Thank you.